Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. Today is Friday, January 22nd, and we are going to take a relatively early look right now at the Cain Velazquez, Fabricio Werdum matchup that goes on February 6th in UFC 196. We are going to talk with professional MMA odds maker and consultant Nick Kalikas from MMAoddsbreaker.com. Nick Kalikas, Werdum won the first fight. This is a rematch, and Werdum is the underdog here. Right now, 5 times I'm seeing Velazquez at minus 145, Werdum at plus 125, and I guess the big question here is Velazquez going to be 100% for this fight or a little bit less than 100%? He says he's 100% training every day and feeling great. There are those who say that that's not entirely true. And then the other question is just the first fight, was it a fluke? Obviously, cage rust was a factor for Velazquez. The elevation was a factor, some are saying, and he just wasn't 100%, and that he's going to be a lot better prepared for this fight, which is why he's the favorite. What's the betting action been saying? Has the public been favoring Velazquez here?
No, they've actually been coming in a little bit more on Werdum.
Okay.
I mean, based on that performance, it was really tremendous. I mean, what he accomplished, he surprised a lot of people. Now, we've seen the improvement coming from Werdum. I mean, he's getting better fight by fight. He surprised a lot of people before that fight and the quality of his performances. But still, beating Cain Velazquez, I mean, a lot of people, including myself, I didn't think it was going to happen. Mm-hmm. I thought Cain, I understand the rust and the elevation, all that coming into play, but I still thought Cain had enough to actually get by Werdum in that spot. So Werdum looked wonderful. I mean, Cain looked terrible. That was probably the worst Cain Velazquez I've ever seen compete out there. But that being said, I mean, it is a rematch. He's a very intelligent fighter. The elevation is not going to be the same spot. He does have a little bit less rust right now, as we said, because he was able to get in the cage. So I think you are going to see a different Cain. And now you're going to see a motivated Cain as well. And getting into that fight, even though Werdum performed better, there's no question about it, it was still a pretty competitive fight before Cain got caught. So I think it is Cain's fight to win or lose, honestly. And all the public, again, support right now is coming in on Werdum. So that makes me kind of like Cain a little bit more.
All right. So then the question, was that first fight basically a fluke? Your answer is pretty clearly yes.
Well, I wouldn't say pretty clearly yes. You got to give Werdum credit. I mean, he did exactly what he had to do. He came to that fight in shape. He took it a lot more serious. He prepared a lot better. His stand-up game is getting better. And he, obviously, the clinch work, everything in that fight was going really well for Werdum. So you got to give him credit. He won the fight. It wasn't like Velazquez, just kind of lost it himself. He definitely won the fight, and he deserved to win that fight. But I just expect a better performance, and I think it was close enough and competitive enough that we will see a better performance this time out. I mean, let's not forget, it was kind of almost the same scenario when he fought Junior Dos Santos, when Cain got knocked out, quickly in the first fight, and then he bounced back in the rematch and just dominated, and then obviously dominated him again. So he's got kind of a track record. I mean, it's only a little bit to kind of gauge from that, but still, he's bounced back and he's performed better in a rematch, and I think we're going to see that sort of same thing here. If not, I mean, I think you could pretty much stick a fork in Cain and say that he's basically on a decline. I mean, if he doesn't come back and perform well and win this fight, I think he's going to be a very beatable fighter for a lot of heavyweights down the road. So this is going to prove a lot here to see where Cain Velazquez really is, because Werdum, right now, he's got the confidence going. I mean, he just recently even said that he wants to go down in 2016. One of his goals is to actually go down as one of the best heavyweights ever. So he has a lot of motivation. He wants to prove that everybody, that first fight wasn't a fluke with Cain, and he's going to show up. So we know what you're getting from Werdum. Now, the question marks are surrounding Cain Velazquez. But at the price of minus 145, where it is right now, I do think there's some value on Cain Velazquez. I mean, if it climbs up a little bit and, it gets to that 170, 180, closer to 2-to-1 mark, which is possible. I mean, with the steam and the heavy action that's going to come in on this fight, we could see a big movement in this line one way or the other. I think you got to back off a little bit. But $150 or so and under, I think there is some value on Cain Velazquez. Right.
We're still 2 weeks away, so there's a lot of time for a lot more action to come in. But you're saying that as of right now, the public is favoring Werdum. It makes sense since he won the first fight. Where'd you open this line?
I opened it at minus 160 for Cain. So it has come down a little bit. And again, line margins continue to tighten a little bit. And again, limits do increase. So 145, but it is right now, but I did open it at 160. So gradually decreased in price a little bit, and there is more action again coming in on Werdum.
Right. All right. So your opinion right now, as of right now, you would say that the value on this fight would not be on the total or on Werdum, it would be on Velazquez at minus 145.
Yeah, I think so. Given, again, his track record, I know his performance last time wasn't the greatest. I still think you can't just underestimate Cain Velazquez. I mean, he was the best heavyweight, and he was head and shoulders above the whole heavyweight division before that fight, and all the layoff and the injuries and all that too. So I still have a little bit of faith in him. I think he'll come back and be a little bit more prepared, more motivated. I mean, it was kind of an embarrassing performance.
Right.
I know that he's not going to want to go out like that. So I'm expecting a lot better from him.
And just with the odds being as competitive as they are, is it fair to say that there's going to be a lot of two-way action here, so that we're probably going to see a lot of line movement with this one, and that we're going to see, you know, Velazquez go up and then come back down and then maybe go back up again? So if you want to bet Werdum, maybe wait for the line to go up?
Yes, I do think we're going to see a crazy movement in this fight. I mean, because there's going to be some heavy action coming in on Cain at the price, so we could typically see it go up a little bit. And then, you know, Werdum will definitely be intriguing. But I think the overall general public's going to come in Verdum's way. I think this is another spot that you will see some trickles of sharp action on both fighters here. I mean, because, again, it's a difficult fight to handicap because of what we've seen, you know, from last time in Cain Velazquez. But I still have to believe in Cain. I think that we will see that movement go up and down. So the timing of it all, right now, I think, again, there is some value there, but we'll see. You might even get a better price because there's possibility it drops to maybe $130,
Sure.
$125-ish. It depends where the heavy action does start coming in.
All right, well, as of right now, Nick Kalikas thinks that probably Velazquez at minus 145 is a side with a little bit of value. We're going to revisit this fight in a little while, so I'll make a decision then. As of right now, I'm still scratching my head. It is 2 weeks away. Nick Kalikas' website, MMAoddsbreaker.com. Nick Kalikas, thanks so much. As always, we will be talking with you again very soon, covering the rest of UFC 196. Thanks, Nick.